Hello everyone, I am Nudos and welcome to another episode of Minecraft. The last one was a bit of a doozy and I am back here in the Froglight farm simply because I wanted to demonstrate the collection system. So this is originally from Mango, I think. I'll try to get inside this a little bit, but basically we have a dropper, a dispenser, observers with a note block, and then over here this is a lava-filled cauldron with a hopper under it. That brings the minecart with a hopper back over there, a mud block, a rail, and then it kind of has to be enclosed to keep the items in, and then just a hopper to bring them over here. I'll link his video in the description to make it make a little bit more sense. But yeah, so it collects these for us, and then you can just send it off. It will collect all of these. This lever here is just to turn it off so that it is not constantly running all the time. Really only need to run it while we're here. You'll see it'll hit the end, turn back around. Once it heads back around this way, you will see it just dumps all the items right there. They get picked up by the hopper and slowly make their way over into here. This is just set up this way to try and sort them a little bit, but you can see just how many we already have. The magma cream I don't even really need, but it needs to go somewhere so it's not clogging up the system. So I think I will go ahead and take a stack of each of these and just throw those in our lighting box so that we have them for the future. And that's it for this farm. I don't want to belabor the point on this one any more than we already have. It is working very well, and now we have lots and lots of other lighting options, which is great. So if you've been watching this series for a little bit, you may remember a few episodes back I was talking about how with the redstone farm, the witch farm, all the bats kept spawning in there, and it was frustrating because it felt like it was lowering my rates. I put in a data pack that I can link below if you want. It is a pack that just stops bats from spawning entirely. And I think I might be onto something. I think I had maybe this much gunpowder, maybe a little bit extra, something like that. When I did not have the data pack, I spent another little while here and got like twice as much. So while it wasn't a perfectly scientific test, I didn't exactly time it. I'm pretty sure I'm onto something. As I understand it, the problem is that when a bat spawns, it's a passive mob, not a hostile mob, so it doesn't take up the hostile mob cap, but if it is in this space, for example, it essentially occupies that space, and a creeper can't spawn there because the space is occupied. So that's annoying. I hope Mojang fixes this. I think this is a 1.21 change where bats can now spawn outside of caves, but in low light levels or other things that count as caves, which apparently is all mob farms. At any rate, that's very frustrating. It really kills a lot of the rates here, which I don't love. But I'm gonna go hang out at the witch farm for a little bit longer because I'm trying to stock up on supplies here. Just vibing a little bit, gathering supplies, preparing for the future. So I've done a little checking, and I really don't want to have to go get more powder snow again the hard way. So I think what I'm going to do here is just put down some cauldrons. I can make a lot more of these because we have the iron farm, and I probably will want to do so, but we are currently in a snowy taiga, and as I understand it, in all of the snowy type biomes, this can happen even at sea level here. So as long as it starts raining, which, you know, who knows, it may do at some point, it will snow in this specific biome, and then this will collect the powder snow. It is possibly one of the most annoying items in the game to gather, but I think what I will do is just load this up with cauldrons so that whenever I need this again, I can just come here and gather it. We might as well. We have so much iron just chilling in the iron farm that I can't see any reason not to just load this up. And it's not even that far from the base. As you can see, here we are loading in the base. So I'm gonna do that so that I don't have to grind so hard next time. I put another stack down, so we have a stack plus 12, which is 76. 76 cauldrons. So if it ever starts snowing over here, we can hopefully collect some powder snow. This might be a little excessive, but you know, I really don't want to have to fly all the way back out to the mountains. That was such a pain in the butt, and I only found it in tiny little patches. So I think this will be a whole lot more convenient. Actually, I figure as long as we have so much iron, I might as well just make more cauldrons and place them all down. So that's what I'm doing. While I'm doing this, I just wanted to say it has been a little over a week since the last time I even really opened this game. I'm not losing interest. About 6 days ago, we had to say goodbye to my cat Coraline. And it's been really hard to motivate myself to open the game or do much of anything. Those of you who have been watching for a while may know her as the cat that would occasionally come in and scream while I was recording. I think back in episode 2, while I was looking for treasure, you could probably go back and find that. Yeah, she was 14. She had kidney disease. She was not doing well, and unfortunately, that's just kind of the nature of life. Sometimes you have to deal with these things. And it's been hard. She was my little buddy. We had her only about 5 years. She was about 9 when we adopted her, and in about a year into that, things went south very quickly. That's when we found out she had kidney disease, but she pulled through. It wasn't always easy. The kidney disease caused some problems. So, you know, early detection and all that. But we got another 4 or so years out of her. Very happy to have had that time with her. Just really sucks now that she's gone. Yeah, that's all I really had to say about that. I don't know if this video is going to come out on time. I'm not really that worried about it. It is what it is. I'm just trying to get back into the right headspace to do anything. I would like to try to find a little kitty around somewhere to commemorate her. Unfortunately, the models in this game don't quite do her justice. She was sort of a Russian blue, at least color-wise. But she also had little white feet, little white cravat, white tummy. The tuxedo cat would almost work, but we also have a tuxedo cat. So I'd rather save the tuxedo cat for little Wednesday. Wednesday is her name. We got her just a couple months ago. Not even, like a month and a half ago, just before Christmas. Anyway. So we'll get a little Wednesday at some point, but Coraline I would like to pick up, and I know there's a British short hair model in here. If I find one, then we'll stick her in the house. We'll give her a name tag. If anybody knows of any mods or resource packs that add a darker gray cat that is basically a tuxedo cat, but with dark gray instead of black, you know, let me know in the comments. I would love to get a more accurate version of her in here if I can. But yeah. Anyway, like I said, that's all I really got to say about that. Yeah. It is what it is. I'm gonna stop talking now before I start crying. So enough with the chores and the exposition. What do I actually want to get done this episode? There is a reason that I came up here to this floor, and that reason is that I think it's finally time to do something about this. We need to put in some kind of ceiling here. We need to fill in these angles here, and we need to lay out this floor. At the very least, we could just put some temporary blocks to lay out how I want it to be structured. We need to build it up so that it works. That may involve moving these windows up a little bit. I'm not super pleased about that because I like how they are centered here, but it is what it is. I think another thing I would like to do that I talked about briefly is to put a chimney on the back here. This will help, I think, a couple ways. One, it will add some, function. It will add function to the form in that we have our range hood in the kitchen and we can put a fireplace up there and it will go up. It will also just break up this very flat back surface. And I think we'll probably need to put some windows on this side as well because it looks a little silly right now. This makes sense in that if you go inside, there's not really anywhere that we could put a window. I mean, I guess we could put a window there. I feel like that would look weird, so I don't really want to do that. If we manage to get this done and all designed, then another thing that I have been thinking about that I think I mentioned an episode or two ago is putting some sort of just decorative buildings, not even buildings that really do anything, but maybe like a tall townhouse sort of thing crammed in between these two with, I think, maybe even only a single block on either side, just to kind of build out the city vibe of this area. Seeing as we have all this resin, I figured I might as well just make some outlines. So something like this is what I'm thinking of for over here. I am not sure if I want it to come out more. Like, I don't just want this to be a diagonal. I want them to be kind of staggered. So I was thinking maybe we do this and we put some kind of front yard here. These kind of narrow townhouses would normally probably have a backyard, but we have a mountain here, so I think this is just the way it's going to be. And maybe we do some kind of like awning over this like we did with my house. So those are all the options that we have, but this will just help add something to this. Am I actually going to put anything in this house? I don't know. Maybe we offload some of our storage into there. You know, kind of inspired by like what Mumbo's been doing with his tech store and all the other sorts of the Boulder Bros, all that stuff. Maybe we do some kind of that thing. I don't know yet, but this is just kind of the basic outline of what that will look like. And man, resin is quick and easy to build with, so I don't see a whole lot of reason why we couldn't outline more of the town. So we could probably put some kind of building there, you know, move the stonemasons into their own thing and just kind of outline things over here. A couple buildings there, a couple buildings down that way. Yeah, but first things first, I think maybe we'll take some of the resin up to the top of the house here. And we can kind of outline where I want the rooms to go. So in my mind, we have some kind of like here, like here's the bedroom with the fireplace over there. I don't know if that makes this weird for this. Like this could be a bathroom maybe that's connected to the bedroom. So then it would be more like this, but there'd be a door here and a door there. That way, you know, you can use it when you're here, you can use it when you're going to bed. And then over here would be some sort of sitting area where you could just sit and read. Kind of like the living room, but I think I would actually flesh this out with books, like bookshelves. So it's more of a library. Which still leaves the question of how to do these windows. I don't really want to just move the entire structure up one. I think we're just gonna have to put slabs down, and maybe it looks a little weird. Right now there's slabs here, so I can't put glass in. I could take the slabs out in order to put glass panes in, but if I take that out, then this goes up to being level with that, and I'm not sure I like that. We might just have to live with these being open windows. Time will tell, but I think for right now, this is an okay kind of arrangement. It would probably be more like this with door, door here maybe. The bathroom doesn't need to be super big. This way you can still look out this window. If I build this up all the way, is this too weird? This might be okay. I don't actually really need this torch here because these are all bottom slabs, so mobs can't spawn here anyway. I mean, the other option would be to have these be equal with each other. I'm not sure that I want that either, though. Like, I kind of like having them be different sizes. That gives me one block there and one block there. So I kind of think this is how I'm going to lay that out. And then this will just be the sitting room. Okay, so I upped the floor a little bit like I meant to do. We just, we left this part lower so that it kind of is like a stairway up. I think it's not too bad with the windows. So there's that window. And here's this window. This is probably where the ceiling will be. That puts it basically here, which I think is fine. This part is maybe a little weird, but we can probably put like a seat here. So it's like a nice window you can look out. Maybe that's a little weird with this door here. I don't know. We'll worry about that when we get to it. But the first part was just making sure that there was a floor in that we could build on. And then I think the ceiling will be the next part. So I'm not sure if I want to do that out of oak again. You know, we've got a white ceiling there. I think it would be nice to maybe make another white ceiling. So that was quartz slabs, smooth quartz slabs. Boy, that is hard to say, but I think that would be good to do again. Just keep the white ceiling idea going. This will need to be a little bit bigger though to make this window work. So we'll see how I want to make that happen. There's definitely a lot of decisions that I made at some point. We could also put it here, which would come around along this level. The attic is less important. I will probably just close that off at some point, so I'm not as worried about that. Let me start gathering the slabs. On further consideration, I think I've decided not to overcomplicate it so much. The problem with closing a lot of this off was then it kind of ruined the ability for this to be like a seating room. You wound up with a lot of the windows kind of not working. So I think we'll just make this kind of a big room. There will be a small hallway here. This will be a bathroom. And then here we'll probably have, that's not at all what I wanted. Some sort of like bookshelves coming around with a seating area, something like that. This will be closed off because that will be the bathroom with a little door here. And then, you know, rugs, maybe some sort of wardrobe situation, things like that. This is here because there will be a fireplace there. And then this, I need to figure out what to do here. A lot of these windows, because we have the slabs, if we don't have the slabs, let's go outside and look here. You can see then it would go all the way up to the roof and all the way down to that roof, which doesn't make a lot of sense. But if we use full blocks instead of slabs, then it's only a 1-block window like over here. So maybe we experiment with fences or something, some kind of window that isn't just glass. I think is what we're gonna have to do just to try and make some sense out of this situation. And then I might even do like a big window up in here, maybe make this more of a vaulted ceiling, kind of like we did in the bank. I'm gonna have to figure that out, but I think first things first is this. I think we'll just do one color up here for the bedroom walls. Maybe the bathroom has its own color, maybe it's tile, I don't know. So we did down here, we had white and we have green, and I'm very happy with how that turned out. For up here, I wanna pick a different color. I'm not totally sure what yet, but I think first things first, let's actually build the chimney. For that, I'm gonna need a bunch of brick. So let me go get brick. I'll probably need to rework this pink part of the wall here once we get this actually going, but we have the fireplace put in. I may also need to extend the brick out here. This is probably just gonna have to all be brick. Maybe we'll put a little arch there. And then the chimney itself is now out here. It's a little rectangle-y, but I kind of based it on my actual house roof. This part where it sort of angles up, it's more of a rounded thing. On the real one would be down here, but it didn't really work in terms of the functionality of actually having campfires in there. So I had to give up on that idea, and then it just kind of comes to a point here. If this was not 4 blocks, I think that we could get the smoke coming out of the chimney. Maybe I will also put a campfire up top here. I can't really put it in the middle is the problem, because this is 4. These are stairs to make that happen. Whatever. I think for the inside, this might be a nice color for the walls. Yeah. So I'm gonna need more of this, obviously, but I think this will be a good overall look for what I want up here. I'll probably just fill resin in the corners there so that I don't have to waste terracotta on that. There we go. A little bit of movie magic for you there. But I think that will make this nice and cozy, and yeah, we definitely need to go grab some more brick and fix this. So let me go grab that. I could actually really bring the fire out one more. Let me see how that looks. Yeah, there we go. Something more like this. It doesn't... I could put more campfires back there, but from here you can't even really tell, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. Now we have a full surround, the works. So yeah, I need to get light gray terracotta, which means I need to go dye some terracotta or go find some terracotta. And then we'll have the walls done. We'll get that out to here, I think. And then we'll figure out what we're gonna do with this bathroom. I'm not gonna worry about this wall because there's gonna be bookshelves here. So this wall can just be whatever color we want for the bathroom. But in the meantime, we do need to figure out this situation. All right, so other than the bathroom, obviously, I still need to figure out what color to do. We now have this for the walls. I moved all of the windows up. I decided that it's actually really not that bad. Like, it's a little weird, maybe, especially from down here, but once you get to about here, it doesn't really matter. So we're gonna leave that like that. That allows me to have 2 tall windows that are in a spot that makes sense. We've got the fireplace. I'm gonna eventually dye these beds and put a bed frame around it. We still need to get the bookshelves, but we can put glass panes in all of these. We have the ceiling in. Up here for right now is just an empty attic. It's probably gonna stay empty. I ran out of slabs, but I will eventually close that off, I think. And then we can bring this all the way up to there, although we'll have to bring that down one in order to do that. But yeah, I think this is pretty good. I'll probably just do a white wall in here. That even might just be a basic, boring, basic white concrete wall. Nothing special for that, except for maybe for here, I'm thinking we put the sink with a window facing out, and then there'd be like a tub or something. Maybe we don't need to shower. Maybe our bathing location is back there. Maybe we just go down to the river. But we'll think about what to do for the bathroom. I just need to fill in the walls, and then we need some bookshelves to put in the corner here, and then we can have a nice little seating area. Okay, so I've got glass in all the windows now. I also made this wall white. I closed this off. I just need to get some more lightning rods, and now in here we have our bathroom with, you know, a wash basin. Look, imagination will be required for this bathroom, but overall I'm pretty happy with how this upstairs has turned out. Just needed to decorate now. Rugs, the bookshelves, all that kind of stuff I got to get together. The only downside of having windows is I can't just jump out here anymore. That's how I used to always get down the stairs. So I guess I actually have to walk down the stairs now. I also added these in here to give the sort of illusion of this being a sliding glass door. It's not perfect. We'll probably need to put some patio type thing here, which I think will actually work its way out at some point here. But yeah, finally something is done up here, which is pretty nice. Little progress report. I've got the copper rods going all the way up and down here. I don't know if this is going to be a final design, but we have a rug. We've got colored beds now with a headrest. I still need to put some nightstands, probably here or here. It would be fun to cover up some of the sides here. I'm just not sure what's the best way to do that. We've got bookshelves in. I tried to keep this a little bit more realistic to how you would actually use a bookshelf. So I tried not to leave too many gaps in the middle, even though it might be visually interesting, and reserve that for the bottom, you know, because you're filling up the bookshelves. When you get more books, you're going to move more stuff to the bottom. Maybe I just have 1 or 2 books out for reading. And then the bathroom, I moved the sink here, and I'm working on some kind of tub. You run into a problem here where you can't really close it in. Like, I could take these blocks out and put trapdoors on those blocks to make that work. I can't quite do that here because then this would just be empty. I don't know. It would be nice to have some kind of bathing apparatus here by the window. I just can't figure out the best way to do it. Maybe it should be more, maybe we turn it into more of a shower. It just has like a curtain or a glass door even, and then some kind of something coming down for the shower head. I don't think we can just keep using that. So let me take this out for now while I think about what to do for the shower. But we are getting really, really close to the end of at least the basic part of the design here. We'll need to come back in and decorate, you know, put some art on the walls. I still need to put lighting in. Even still down here, we still have to do a little bit more decorating and photos and whatever else just to sell it. But that will basically complete the interior. Then we just need to fill in this bit here with some kind of vent thing so that the attic gets proper ventilation, doesn't get too hot, and then texturing and decorating the outsides using bushes and such, making this patio. But the house itself is getting pretty close. I'm very excited about that. You ever just eventually realize that you've been staring at something so long you just completely miss something that was right in front of you? Like the fact that this has books and this is just flat. Yeah, it took me until I started trying to put lighting in to realize that that's how that was. So I think we need to close these up so it looks more like a complete bookshelf. That does help. It's not 100% perfect. I was kind of thinking of trying to put some crown molding there or something, but it's not quite doing what I want. And I need this ceiling to come down 1 in order to hang a lantern from it, or anything from it, really. A floor lamp might work well, but I'm not really sure what's the best way to do that. It could come up maybe from here, or from over here into there. I was trying to see if I could get away with the sort of like bar lights that hang from the sides, or the tops. You see those at like IKEA and stuff. Couldn't quite get that to work, but I think this will be okay for now. For the rest of this, I went for a recessed lighting situation. And then same thing in here. We have recessed can lighting there. And then obviously this would be better if it had this on both sides, but same idea. There's sort of a bar light above the mirror. I'm going to use this for the mirror. I do wish I could get that on the side. I can't think of any way to get trapdoors to open sideways. I don't know, maybe that's just one of those things that I'm missing. So all that's left now is some sort of bathing apparatus and decorations. Oh, and I could just put a couch here. That'd be quick and easy to do. Oops, kind of forgot about that. For the last updates here, we have, did I show this already? We have a sofa now. Maybe I'll put some cushions there later, some pillows, whatever, so we can pretend to sit and look out here now. I put oak there so that it kind of looks like the shelves extend. I can't really get the sides all the way up. That would really sell it, but then we wouldn't be able to put this block there. So that is what that is. And then I went with this. So instead of having these up like that, I put them down so that it looks a little bit more like it's a flat thing with nightstands. I did have to use armor stand trickery for this. So this is scaled up a little bit, and the only reason I had to do that is simply because you can't put the lightning rods on top of this because it would be inside that block. So this works around that nicely, and you can't really see the back because the wall's there, so it doesn't matter that the back is technically open. Yeah, still have some things to do in the bathroom. We still have to figure out the tub and some cabinets and stuff. But this is a lot better than what we started with, and I think that is all I'm gonna have time for today. As I said earlier, it's been a bit of a struggle just kind of getting back into the groove of things. I just wanted to make sure that I got some kind of episode out here. It doesn't need to be a super long one. I'm still happy with the progress that we made. You know, we did, lest we forget, out here we did start planning this townhouse, which we will, I think the next episode, maybe one of the future episodes here, I will start planning out more of these all throughout here so that we can start actually building things out. That will give me a much better way to do that. And the resin is a really easy way to just put outlines down so that I can start thinking about those. So as the sun sets here, thank you for watching. Thank you for all your support. And yeah, I mean, I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye.